Hello friends, I welcome you in lecture number 6 on complex integration. In this lecture also we are going to discuss one more example on evaluation of complex line integrals, which are also known as contour integrals. In the example which we are going to discuss today, we have this type of situation. We discuss the situation of given example in general sense. Suppose our function f of z is given and we want to evaluate f of z along some contour, say capital C. Now suppose our function f of z is not same along this contour C. F of z is different in different parts of this contour C. For example, suppose we have this type of contour, say we have this type of contour, and suppose this part of the contour is C1 and this part of the contour is C2, and our function f of z is having different values along C1 and along C2. Suppose value of f of z is given by g of z along this part of the contour denoted by C1, and f of z is given by h of z along this part of the contour C2. Then our whole contour is nothing but union of these two contours, and if we want to integrate f of z along this contour C, then we will evaluate f of z along C1 and we will evaluate f of z along C2, because f of z is different along C1 and C2. Along C1 we have f of z equal to g of z, and along C2 we have f of z equal to h of z. So whenever we have this type of situation that given function is different in different parts of the contour C, then we will go in this way. You can have same contour also. For example, suppose we have the contour which is the right half of the circle. Suppose our contour is capital C, but suppose function is different in this quadrant or in this part, and function is different in this part, then we will give two different names for these two sub contours, and we will integrate f of z along C1 and f of z along C2, and then we will take their sum. So in this example which we are going to discuss today, we have this type of situation. We have to evaluate this integral of f of z along contour C, where contour C is the arc from z equal to minus 1 minus I to z equal to 1 plus I along the curve y equal to x cube. Our contour is that part of the curve y equal to x cube which is between these 2 points, minus 1 minus I and 1 plus I. But our function is different in different parts of this arc of this curve. Function has value 1 when y is negative, and function has value 4y when y is greater than 0. That is value of function at point z, which we denote by z equal to x plus y. So f of z, where z is x plus iy, has value 1 when this real part of z is negative, and function has value 4y when y is greater than 0. For example, if we have 3 minus 2i, suppose we want to find out f of 3 minus 2i, then if we compare this with x plus iy, then we can see that y is minus 2 and minus 2 is negative, therefore f of 3 minus 2i is 1. And suppose we are interested in f of 1 plus 4 into I. So if we compare with z equal to x plus iy, here y equal to 4. So whenever y is positive, value of function is 4 times imaginary part of z. Here imaginary part of z is 4. So it is going to be 4 into 4, that is 16. So our function is defined in this way, value of function at variable z equal to x plus iy is 1 when imaginary part of z is negative, and f of z equal to 4 into imaginary part of z when imaginary part of z is positive. So our curve is in between these 2 points. First we roughly sketch this curve. We are familiar with the graph of y equal to x cube. It is the graph which is in first and third quadrant, and it looks like this. We are already familiar with this curve. Y equal to x cube is passing through origin, and roughly it looks like this. It will extend up to infinity in both the directions, but we have to consider the part of the curve between z equal to minus 1 minus I, that we can rewrite as minus 1 comma minus 1, and z equal to 1 plus I, that is 1 comma 1. So suppose we consider this much distance as 1, then this point is 1 plus I, and similarly if this is 1, this is minus 1, and here also we have minus 1, so minus 1 minus I. So I have to roughly write this point. Suppose this is minus 1. This is rough sketch, so we are considering minus 1 here, and this corresponds to minus 1 here. So this point is minus 1 minus I, and you can see we have to consider this arc of the curve y equal to x cube. We want to integrate along this part, which is also known as arc of the curve y equal to x cube. Our curve is y equal to x cube. We are not integrating over the whole curve, we are integrating along the arc of the curve from this point to this point. Now if you observe, if we take any point in this part, if z lies in this part, then if we consider any point in this part, say z, then it is above x axis, therefore y will be greater than 0 if we take z in this part. Now whenever z is in this part, our curve is from this point to this point. This part of the curve corresponds to this point and this point, and you can see here we have 0 and here we have 1. So whenever we consider any point in this part of the curve y equal to x cube, then x, value of x will vary from 0 to 1. For any z in this part of the curve, x lies between 0 and 1 and y is positive. So if we consider any point, or if we consider this part of the curve, then for any point in this part of the curve y is greater than 0. Similarly, if we consider this lower part of the curve, then you can see in this part x lies between minus 1 and 0, and if I take any z in this part, then it is below x axis, therefore y is negative. So what we can do is we can divide this curve into two parts, say C1 and C2. For curve C1, curve is same, we are considering y equal to x cube for C1 as well as for C2, but C1 is that part of the curve y equal to x cube for which x is in between minus 1 and 0. So here I write minus 1 less than or equal to x less than or equal to 0. For C2, x lies between 0 and 1. So here we write 0 less than or equal to x less than or equal to 1. So this makes the difference for C1 and C2. Now why we are dividing this same curve into two parts? Because along C1 we will have value of y along C1, value of y is going to be negative in this part, and along C2 y is positive. So whenever y is negative, we have different f of z. For y greater than 0, value of f of z is different. Therefore we are considering two sub curves for the given curve C, and our curve C is from -1 minus I to 1 plus I, and that we can write as union of C1 and C2, or we can write as C1 plus C2. So this we have to take care, because we are going to integrate f of z. So whenever y is less than 0, we are along C1, and therefore we will consider limits of x are from -1 to 0. Similarly, when y is greater than 0, we are along C2, and we will consider x between 0 and 1. And when y is less than 0, we will take f of z equal to 1, and when y is greater than 0, we will take f of z equal to 4y. So because function is different along two different parts of the same curve, we are considering given curve as the union of two curves denoted by C1 and C2. And rest of the method is same as we have discussed in previous lectures. We will try to convert this dz in terms of single variable. Here our curve is y equal to x cube, so we will replace everything in terms of x. So whenever we have y, we will replace y by x cube. F of z will be equal to 1 when y is less than 0, that is along C1 f of z is 1, and along C2 we will put f of z equal to 4y, and dz is going to be same. We first write that, first we have to mention that we divide the given curve, C equal C, which we write given curve as y equal to x cube, and for this we have x between -1 and 1. For whole curve, x is from -1 to 1. So we divide this curve into two curves, which we write as C1. Both curves are having same equation, y equal to x cube, but along C1 x is from -1 to 0, along C2 x is from 0 to 1. So here we write -1 less than or equal to x less than or equal to 0, and here 0 less than or equal to x less than or equal to 1. Along C1 y is negative, so here we can mention that along C1 y is less than 0, therefore f of z is 1. We are given that when y is negative, f of z is 1, and when y is positive, f of z is 4y. Similarly, we can write that along C2 y is greater than 0, so f of z is 4y, and y will be replaced by 4 times x cube. So we will put f of z equal to 4x cube along C2, f of z equal to 1 along C1. Similarly, we have to determine z in terms of x. Now if z is any point either on C1 or C2, then we can write z as, because y equal to x cube, we write here y equal to x cube, therefore z becomes x plus I times x cube. Because z is function of x only, now we can find out derivative of z with respect to x. Derivative of x is 1, and here we have 3x square into I, that I can rewrite as 3i x square. Therefore dz becomes 1 plus 3i x square times dx. So we have converted dz in terms of x. We have f of z in terms of x. Here f of z becomes constant and dz remains same along c1 as well as along c2. So we can write dz equal to this along c equal to c1 plus c2. Now we can find out given integral. So now integral of f of z along c is equal to integral of f of z along c1 plus integral of f of z along c2. We have written that along c1 f of z is 1 and along c1 value of x is from -1 to 0. So here we put limits of x from -1 to 0. F of z is 1, dz is 1 plus 3i x square dx. dz is 1 plus 3i x square dx. Similarly, along c2 we have y positive, therefore f of z is 4x cube and x is from 0 to 1. So x is from 0 to 1, f of z is 4x cube, dz is same along both c1 and c2, 1 plus 3i x square times dx. Now we have to just integrate this with respect to x. We can write one more step. This is -1 to 0, 1 plus 3i x square dx plus 0 to 1. We multiply this by 4x cube and we have 4x cube plus 4 into 3, 12i x cube into x square, that is x raised to 5 integral with respect to x. Now integral of 1 with respect to x is x, 3i is constant, integral of x square is x cube by 3. So this 3 will get cancelled and we have I times x cube. Limits of x here are from -1 to 0. Similarly, this is 4 into x raised to 4 by 4. So 4 will get cancelled. Here integral is x raised to 6 by 6 and that 6 will get cancelled and we are having 2i times x raised to 6. Limits of x are from 0 to 1. First we put x equal to 0 and we will have 0, minus we put x equal to -1. So here I have 1 plus I, cube of -1, that is -1, plus here we put x equal to 1 first, so that will give us 1 plus 2i, and for x equal to 0 we have 0. And we simplify this. If we multiply with -1, or we can write one more step, this is -1 minus I, and here we have 1 plus 2i, and finally this is going to be 1 plus I plus 1 plus 2i, and this is going to be 2 plus 3 into I. So this is very nice question in which we have our function which is different in different parts of the same curve, and therefore we have divided our curve into two different parts, and we find that values of x in different parts, and we also put f of z, appropriate value of f of z along both the parts, and using our method for evaluation of contour integrals we are able to convert this f of z dz in terms of single variable x, and we have obtained value as 2 plus 3i. So this is all about this session. I hope you like it. Thanks for watching.